Hey everyone, I just wanted to shoot you a quick message to just give you some updates related to LOE and then just talk through some things that I think need to be talked about related to LOE now that we're at this point in the year. So I've got my bulleted list so I can remember anything. First of all, I think I've told some of you, but not all of you, the second set of LOE lessons, we did apply for a grant and receive the monies to get those lessons, but the company went through some things that they had to deal with back in the fall and then into the early winter, I guess, December. And so some of the publishing was stalled a little bit. So they're still working out the timeline as far as when those second set of lessons will be coming. And they're not sure when that's going to happen. It's kind of like an indefinite, they're not sure. So third grade, I've already talked to you. That's why we you all figured out some sort of a schedule to stretch out the 15 lessons until mid-May. Second grade, I'm not sure in the process that you're going where you do 2 weeks, how long that exactly will take you. But if the lessons do come out, we'll still purchase them, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to use them for this year. Someone's already brought up that there's a lot of phonograms actually that aren't covered in those first 15 lessons. There's some that are left. I think actually those phonograms are really important for reading, particularly for kids who are really reading those multisyllabic words that have like shun in them. That's just an example. So my thought is I could create lessons after that, just really quick ones, to do some review of content with kids, but then also to introduce them to those new phonograms so they can use them in their spelling and their writing, and also when they go to read words. I hope that makes sense. A couple of things as far as management is concerned. I hope you know, like, I'm not the LOE police, and I'm really not looking at you to follow that entire curriculum. It's overwhelming even to me to look through and to figure out how am I supposed to teach all of that within a week's period of time, third grade, or even 2 weeks of time, second grade. So just really quick. So second graders, I would say if we look at this as a continuum of skills, because these kids will loop up to third grade and get LOE again next year, just expose them to the basics of the curriculum, whatever you feel is most necessary in that lesson. And so that would obviously be your phonograms and your rules, and just getting those basic patterns in there. Third grade, this is the first year that these kids have done LOE. So I know there's lots of grammar in there. There was things about possessives this week, and there was just a lot this particular week. We just did list 9. And so leave it up to your discretion, particularly those of us that are working with those struggling students. They can't get to it. My group never even got to the possessives because they can barely even spell the words. So again, do what you need to do as a teacher with your individual group or groups to figure out what works best for you to teach what you think is the most important in that lesson. As far as the lessons themselves, let me speak directly to second grade. Someone pointed out, I think it was Kim mentioned, or Betsy maybe, that in the 15, you guys were just choosing the first 10, and sometimes there's only like one that even fits the pattern. So you may want to consider as a team or just as an individual, looking through that list of 15 and figuring out which ones you want to teach. I would even say you could add some words. I think the whole purpose of not including all words that fit the pattern, I hope that makes sense, like all oys, and so every single word has an oy, is because they never want the students to forget all the other patterns that they've learned, and they don't want it to be so specific, so they only learn those OI words and then they go off and they forget them later. I hope that makes sense. So let me know if you have any questions moving forward. I think that third grade, we've sort of, like I said, figured out a schedule. Second grade teachers, you can let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'll let you know of anything that I learn. We can continue to add activities and games to the drive. I have a Jeopardy game that I'm working on that hopefully I can push out to you at some point. It's good if they're always, again, just reviewing. I have some ideas for how to incorporate some things more into the home, but again, this is our first year of doing this, so those things may be like a pipe dream at this point. But again, let me know if you have any questions. Everything that I'm hearing from kids, from you, is some good feedback so far. So just let me know. So thanks. Have a good weekend.